The day we married, my husband put a ring on my finger, and I did the same for him. And for many, many years, we continued wearing our rings. And then we came to the UK and we added some little weight. And so we had to go to a jeweler and they enlarged our ring, we put it back, and it was continuing. It continued till one day my husband, who was a farmer by hobby, was just busy digging, planting, and so on, and came back and said, "Oops, I lost my ring." And that was it. His ring is somewhere in the field. No one could retrieve it. And the day we moved and left that allotment, our son said, maybe I should look for a metal detector so that I could retrieve that ring wherever it is on the field, a huge field. But we didn't do. So it has been planted for the blessing of the one that came after. And that is like the story that Jesus talked about. That someone that was working on a field and he discovered a pearl of great price. And he so loved that pearl. It was just like as tiny as the wedding ring. And he said, wow. But he knew that that was costing a lot. And so what did he do? He sold, he buried it back, well hidden, so that no one else would see it. Then he went out, sold everything he had to gather the money, and then bought the field. Because he knew that hidden to view was that invaluable treasure. Just like the story I was telling about our wedding ring. And that is, Jesus said, a picture of the kingdom. And it's like us discovering the kingdom, discovering God. Just stumble on it. Maybe it's a tract you read, or it's a church service you got invited to, and something happened there. Like someone was saying he was invited to his daughter's baptism and he was crying and crying there, could not explain what happened. And shortly after that, he became a Christian. Whatever the way you stumble on the kingdom, it is that pearl, and is of more value than everything you could imagine. When you start living in that kingdom as a Christian, you don't even discover a tiny portion of it. It's as you walk more and more in it, you start digging. Like my husband just started a new allotment last year and said, wow, that one is fantastic. It's far better than the one I had before. He didn't even need to add compost because everything started growing at fast rate. And it was given to him just for a tiny fee for the year. So this is another example of the narrow door, the narrow gate we were talking about before. When you have discovered something that is of so much value that all you think about is that, and you are ready to abandon, leave behind everything else just to acquire that one. It's just like people fall in love with each other. And like the ceremony of wedding says, forsaking all other, I'll cling to you. I'll hold you for better, for worse. Because you are of more value to me than every boy, every girl on the planet. this is the way, the kingdom, and His righteousness and His love and everything is. So as you leave things behind, like Peter said to Jesus, what about us? We left everything behind to follow you. And Jesus said, it's okay. You get more. Yes, you get persecution, but you get far more than everything you left behind. And we have countless examples in the Bible of people that left everything behind. Like Elijah, when he was burnt out, he was depressed, he was tired, and he went to have a talk with God. And God said, no worries. I'll guide you to someone that will become your disciple and that will eventually take over from you. Just like plumbers, electricians desire to get an apprentice, someone that will learn the trade and then possibly take over from them when they retire. And then he found Elisha. And Elisha, when Elijah met him and said, come follow me, Elisha said, hold on, just a minute. And then he was plowing a field. He killed his oxes, burnt the chariot that was used for the plowing, burnt all bridges, and followed his new master. So don't look behind. Don't look like Lot's wife. When they left Sodom, God said, don't look back. Don't look back. And they continued, but at a point, she might have thought, oh dear, all my beddings, all my dresses, all the things I've left, all the beautiful beds that the carpenter did for us. She just turned. And the Bible tells that she was turned into a salt statue. The meaning is, don't look back, because what is in front is better. It's always better. So go for that pearl of great price. Don't look back.